Now more than ever, innovative technologies are fueling change and sparking new ways of thinking. Collaboration between corporations and startups is key to staying at the forefront of these trends. However, finding the right startups can be expensive, time-consuming, and ineffective. But Plug and Play is here to help. As a corporate partner, you will gain access to a whole ecosystem of innovation. Discover startups that meet your tech interests. Stay updated on the latest trends and network with industry peers. We will help you during every stage of your innovation journey, no matter where you are and where you want to go. Get in touch today.
Welcome to our Brand and Retail Winter Summit 2022. We're so excited to welcome all of you here virtually, our ecosystem of corporates, startups, mentors, investors, and changemakers. My name is Caroline, and I will be your host for the first part of the session. I lead our brand and retail activities here in Germany, and I'm part of our senior investment team. I want this event to be really interactive. I know it can sometimes be challenging in a virtual environment, but let's maybe get everyone awake by saying good morning in our local language in the chat. If you're now wondering, how do I do this? Go to the right side on Open, type it, and in that sense, Guten Morgen zusammen from München. And yeah, we're really excited to kick off the event and already see some coming in here. Guten Morgen, very nice. Even Arabic, super good. And yeah, continue welcoming each other and be interactive throughout the event. This is the first day of our summit, and we will be continuing with insurance later this afternoon and tomorrow with healthcare. So if you're excited about these two industries, do not miss out on the events. Our agenda today is filled with highlights, and if you're wondering what's expecting you in the next 3 hours, listen up now. After my opening remarks, we will announce our newest corporate partner, who will also come live on stage. Then we will have serial entrepreneur Tom Foster-Carter sharing more on his journey, how he led the development of Curve and Monzo Bank, and why he's now starting his newest company in retail. After this entrepreneurial spirit, we will kick it off with the first round of startup pitches, and please make sure to, throughout the event, ask questions in the Q&A section. Then we will have a special highlight of the event, a rollout showcase of our partner SCHWARZ Group together with Cognigy, and you cannot miss this one. We want the session to be very interactive, and this is why during the break, we will have 3 breakout rooms. You can join us and our colleagues from Hornbach to discuss topics of customer centricity, one of the hottest topics right now, metaverse and Web3, and last mile delivery. We will have 30 minutes to go through these topics, share recommendations and learnings, and we're very excited to meet you there. After this very interactive break, our startup pitches will continue in the second round, and we hope you stay online for that. Then there's a final pilot showcase of our partner MediaMarktSaturn, explaining us what they did in their 4 pilots on sustainable last mile delivery, and also giving us recommendations and learnings. Finally, a summit wouldn't be complete without a People's Choice and Corporate Innovation Award, and we want all of you guys to vote in the end, so please stay online. For the ones of you who are joining for the first time, or if you already know Plug and Play but want to get an update, we want to give you a little bit of a recap again. Plug and Play had its 15 years anniversary last year, and our mission is and has always been to progress the world through innovation and connection. We want to make innovation accessible to anyone, anywhere. With this mission in 2021, 535 corporate partners trusted us with their corporate innovation, and 210 new startups joined our portfolio family, and we were lucky to be able to invest in them. We also didn't stop growing. From our headquarters in Sunnyvale, we spread out on 5 continents, opened 10 new offices last year, bringing the total count up to 47 offices globally. This we do in multiple industries. Last year, we launched our maritime vertical in Antwerp, and we now cover 21 different topics, from retail to sustainability to fintech to new materials, and can not only help our partners in one, but in multiple topics. Of course, also the investment side has been very interesting last year. If you read the brochure, you saw that it was the unicorn year for Europe, and also for Plug and Play, it went very well. We had 14 companies that were worth more than 1 billion added to the portfolio last year, and also one new retail unicorn was Manscaped. We also had our first blockchain unicorn with Blockdaemon, and they actually just announced another round, valuing them at $3.5 billion. We also had 16 exits of the portfolio and are very excited to see what 2022 has in store for us. Now, if you're wondering, what are we doing here in Munich? What is our brand and retail vertical about? Let me also showcase you what we did last year and what is planned for this year. Last year in Munich, we sourced 1,300 startups for our corporate partners, hosted 25 exclusive events, and had 16 new pilots. We are very excited that we also welcomed 5 new companies to our portfolio and are very humbled to work with the amazing teams behind Arbalus, Etwas, Makai, OcoHealth, and Lollipop, where Tom will be sharing a bit more in just a bit. We also continuously innovate our services for the partners to really provide the best experience, and this is why we launched monthly meetings for our partners last year. We covered different topics from 5 and 6G to NFTs to quantum computing, discuss in our partner round, give recommendations and the latest insights, and this is an element we will continue this year. For topics that require a bit more of a deep dive, we launched 90-minute formats that give our partners the knowledge from Plug and Play, but also expert innovations to really tackle topics such as social commerce, dark stores, newest trends in China, but also O2O commerce. We also love to create content in the team, and this is why today at this event, we want to share our latest holiday report with you. If you now scan the QR link, you will find 8 amazing startup interviews of companies that can help you progress your business in 2022. No worries if you're a bit too slow, we will also paste the link into the chat later. Now, looking ahead for 2022, we're very excited to have many amazing formats in store. For instance, in March, we will be hosting a deep dive on sustainability and transparency in the supply chain. We will also be hosting a leadership breakfast during the e-tail in Berlin and a micro selection day focusing on platform economy and marketplaces. Of course, we will also have our monthly meeting with the partners again, focusing on super app strategies. So if you're now wondering, how can I join this ecosystem? How can I become a startup partner, a corporate partner? Look to the right side, use the poll function, and let us know if we should reach out to you after the event. We will be using these polls quite a bit, so remember that, and we're happy to make any introductions that you might need. This event wouldn't be complete without our anchor partners, MediaMarktSaturn and the SCHWARZ Group, who have been supporting our platform for the last 6 years, and we're very excited to the future years ahead with them. Thank you for your patience with us and your trust. Now, if you've never used Hopin, you probably got familiarized with it already, but I just want to give you a quick overlook again. On the left side, you will find the different stages. So we're right now on the main stage, and later for the breakout rooms, we will be using the sessions function. You can also network one-on-one, and this is really recommended after the event or also during if you're excited about it. And we would really like to welcome you later in the breakout rooms, and now you can stay interactive during the main stage. This will be on the right side, so you might have already used the chat, and there you will also find the Q&A section where you can ask all your questions to our speakers and of course our polls. Now, without further ado, I'm very, very happy to announce our latest corporate partner, the SCHWARZ Group, joining us end of last year. They're the second largest printing house in Europe, and with their units Bluelane and Conmedia, work on the latest innovations in printing, marketing, and media. With that, I would like to invite the CEO, Günther Pecher, to the stage to tell us more about SCHWARZ Group and how they plan to further progress the innovation with Plug and Play. Günther, the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you, Caroline. Good morning, everybody. I'm happy and excited to take part in the Munich Winter Summit today. Let me just start by introducing myself. My name is Günther Pecher. I'm the CEO of the Stark Group. And the Stark Group is located in Pforzheim. It's in the south of Germany, in the Black Forest. There are around about 600 employees, so a mid-sized company. It's family-owned. And under the Stark Group, there are 3 companies. It's a Stark Print, Starkdruck, it's the Blue Lane, and it's the Con Media. And the key of our success is to combine state-of-the-art production technologies with comprehensive media IT and dialogue marketing experience. So for the retail customer, we produce high volume inserts, corporate publishing. This means the production of high circulation customer magazines up to individual employee brochures. Also catalog production, automized catalog production from PIM to database publishing to individual catalogs. We also offer campaigns with a powerful platform for marketing process optimization and sales promotion. We also offer branch communication. This means an automatic creation of individual advertising materials of the branches and franchises, and one-to-one marketing, customized campaigns for successful customer retention, and efficient sales promotion. Another customer is a mail order business and e-commerce. Here we produce catalogs in very high volumes, every kind of catalogs, individual custom covers, and also high volume hybrid. This means the upgrade for traditional dealers' imprints and innovative new ad formats. We also offer webshop technologies, e-commerce solutions with integrated MAM system, configurators, and interactive catalogs, and also here one-to-one marketing. Our clients are partly big ones and also very small ones in Germany and in Europe. And at last but not least, the environment and sustainability is important for us. We are certified with the DIN ISO 141. We also spent money and invested in the afforestation in Costa Rica against the climate change. We have photovoltaic system on all our roofs, and newly we are carbon neutral. This means we compensate the CO2 with the purchase of climate partners certificates. That's it, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Günther, and we're really excited for our innovation journey together ahead. Thank you for being here today. And now let's continue with our keynote speaker, Tom. If you ever wondered how not to only build one successful, but multiple successful startups, this is the right talk for you today. Tom has led companies today worth more than $2.5 billion, co-founded Curve and Osper, and led Monzo Bank to grow from 3,000 to 4 million users. He now started his new company, Lollipop, in the retail sector and will tell us all about his journey today. Before I hand over to Tom, he loves you guys to be interactive, so please use the Q&A section, ask questions, and he will be happy to answer them after his talk. And with that, Tom, great to see you again. Stage is yours.
Thank you for having me. So today I would love to take away 3 messages. The pandemic has changed the rules of the game in grocery permanently. 2, that means what has worked for, in many cases, decades, won't work from now on. And 3, for retailers thinking about this in the right way, there's huge opportunity to be part of inventing the future of the market. Now, first, a bit about me. I've founded and helped scale a few consumer fintechs. Our current valuation is actually just under $5 billion. The reason I still live in a terraced house in South London is because none of them have exited yet. So I'm no expert in grocery, but I have been part of redefining another industry and hope I can offer some insights based on parallels that I've seen. So let's get into it. What's happening? What's just happened in banking? Banking experienced a tsunami of new entrants into a market that has been locked up for a century. What you see here is a view of the challenger landscape in 2015 versus where it is today. This is all of Europe, right? Nope, that's just the Netherlands, just Dutch fintechs. This is a story repeated all over Europe. But this has been driven by the open banking movement, right? Yes and no. There's something much bigger at play. This is a golden age for company creation, a Cambrian moment, leading to an explosion of startups, redefining and redistributing industries hitherto thought impenetrable: energy, healthcare, and maybe even grocery. Yes, margins suck. But in an industry where consumers spend $9 trillion globally every year, and if they don't spend that money, they die, then there are still plenty of great opportunities, especially if you tap into other budgets and entice people to spend them with you. Plus, there's been an unexpected but huge disruptor, of course. In the UK, COVID took 10 years of slow but steady online adoption and supercharged it, dropping consumers, whether they liked it or not, into the digital age. Same story across the continent. And we're not going back. Online will double again in the next 3 years. What we've seen is new situations push new behaviors. Across Europe, two-thirds of consumers tried something new during the pandemic and intend to continue. 1/3 of those tried a new shopping method, half of them a new retailer. This only serves to accelerate huge consumer trends that were already well underway. Speed and convenience. Stay-at-home adventures tapping into socializing budgets, mission-led propositions like wonky veg and sustainable shopping, all eating share from traditional players. Interestingly, also all attracting better margins. All of these you can charge a premium for. However, unlike the banks, grocers, when they see something new that threatens share, they get straight down to business. Thankfully for me, with my previous businesses in banking, the banks took ages to respond to the shifting market. Grocers replicate with style and neutralize the threat. If you look at these examples here, Tesco getting straight in with a rapid delivery play, Morrison's setting their own recipe boxes up, Co-op doing plant-based eating. And sometimes this can happen within weeks of each other. It's impressive. The only problem is it won't work anymore. The rules have changed. In fact, there are 3 game changers. Democratization of the technological building blocks to start a company. This allows even small, unprofitable startups, tiny teams, access to literally the world's best development and data tools. This was us, Lollipop, with just the 3 of us, able to get this all going with very, very little resources. But then combine that with unprecedented access to capital. There are very few attractive asset classes right now. So there's incredible amounts of money floating around, ready to attach itself to interesting startup opportunities. And thirdly, the degradation of brand loyalty generation by generation. We were warned to worry about millennials, but Gen Z are coming through and they're loyal to no one except their ideals. They're willing to try anything, even a new bank account. At Monzo, we were told statistically customers are more likely to get divorced than they were to switch their current account to us. So it's a really bad business to build on paper, right? But they did. And it was the younger generation that opened the floodgates for 5 million others to follow. Which means new players can pop up, scale up, and mop up faster than any time in history. And before incumbents have had the chance to counter. And there are just too many segments, too many propositions, and too many battles to fight for the incumbents to go after each of these opportunities. So if you can't beat them, join them. Traditional grocers will need to build a new capability, that of rapidly identifying great startups, i.e. those that have something interesting in mind, know what they're doing, and know how to get there. Then close a partnership before their competitors do. Some recent examples from the UK market include Tesco partnering with Gorillas. Even I didn't see this one coming, despite having had their own rapid delivery offering. Waitrose and Mindful Chef creating recipe boxes using Waitrose products. M&S partnering with an augmented reality startup to guide people around their stores. And Co-op partnering with Starship to deliver food via robots. Startups offer an opportunity to be part of inventing the future, rather than letting the future happen to you. So finally, a little bit about us. Lollipop is a new platform aimed at overwhelmed parents who want to get their families fed, but not feed them rubbish. We like to think of ourselves as a personal shopping assistant to help you shop fast, eat well, and do good. We auto-suggest personalized, speedy, healthy meals that are delicious and that your kids will gobble up. Then we help get the rest of the shop done at lightning speed. And, oh, sorry, it's going the wrong direction. What's happened here? Here we go. We help you get the rest of your shop done at lightning speed. Then once the food arrives, we get in the kitchen with you and help you rustle up something absolutely amazing. The idea here is that you will be able to cook something that you're not familiar with as easily as something that you've never cooked before. And at some point, we'll do everything for you so you can just sit back and relax, knowing that we've got it all under control. We are currently live with Sainsbury's, who's been an amazing cornerstone partner for us, and we'll be adding more partners in the future in Britain and internationally. Our aim is bigger baskets with a meals-led approach, more happier customers, a younger, attractive demographic, and a fight against negative price pressure. So, to wrap up, and this is a message in particular to grocers, the rate of new entrants coming into the sector isn't going to slow down anytime soon. and the market will shift with them. So embrace the opportunity. Have somebody else fight on your behalf. Get sales volume from multiple sources, not just channels that you own. And get out there, find the plucky young upstart, and make magic happen. Thank you.
Much, Tom, for being here and really interesting presentation. I think we have a lot of grocers, startups, and also, industry leaders for retail here. So very interesting points, cases. And I love the "Make the Magic Happen" slogan. I think it's definitely something to live by. We actually already have the first question coming in when you were talking about game changers. So you said there's 3 levels now that changed the game. And the question was, do you also think that the metaverse, kind of the new digital experience, will be another one for this year? Or how would you evaluate that in kind of the light of grocery changing?
And I missed the one key word there. Is it the new digital experience? Is it another game?
It's metaverse, the metaverse, kind of metaverse environment, like be the force game changer.
Yeah, sure. And I say metaverse, I got it. So my view around that, if you look at the slides that I shared about the shift to online, we're currently at 11%, 12%, and we're one of the most advanced online markets in the world. What does that mean? That means actually 88, 89 pence a pound is still spent in store. So there is, of course, this enormous opportunity to kind of provide some evolution for an experience that hasn't changed in about sort of 60 or 70 years, really, just going in and pulling things off the shelves. And so I think there is something really interesting here. There is something very, very powerful still about just going into the store and that experience. And when we've interviewed people, some people actually enjoy that. And in fact, they used to enjoy it, then they've been forced to online shop for whatever reason, and all the enjoyment's kind of been sucked out of it. It's become very functional. If there is going to be something there which replicates that experience, then that is an absolute game changer. We saw the move by M&S, Marks and Spencer's, to have augmented reality in the store, but that still involves you going to the store. What about if you could shop in that way where you see all the things that are happening, maybe even interact with people without leaving your home? I think it's the future. It just might be a long way off.
Yeah, no, I agree. And yeah, I mean, that's an excellent example, kind of combining the 2 worlds together. But yeah, let's see what will happen. I also don't see this for this year, but maybe, in 2 or 3 years it might happen. Also, a couple of other questions. How quick can you onboard new quick commerce players?
The question is more, when's the right time to do that? Our proposition is really based on the stock up shop. We still believe in that, and we think that it's not going anywhere for quite some time. The customers that we speak to really care about having the broadest possible range. And so there is a particular kind of brand of healthy snacks that their children love and they love and so on, and they want it. And so the challenge with quick commerce is just that very narrow range selection. And of course, families are very value conscious. And so with quick commerce, you have to, by definition, put a premium on every item, and often a delivery fee too, which is brilliant if you are in that urgent moment. You need the stuff really quickly. Now, there are moments when our customers, our target customers, will fall into that spot where they just need things really fast. And we'd love them to be able to do it through our platform. So the time is probably going to be soon, but first I'd rather get everybody that allows us to do the weekly shop in one place. And then I feel like the kind of quick commerce possibility is really exciting, and we'll get them on the platform too.
Super nice. Thank you so much for explaining that. And I think for all the grocers in the audience today, this is relevant now. And then obviously also maybe if this came from a quick commerce player, they can reach out afterwards to chat about kind of the future plan. Maybe, Tom, one more question that came up. Are your plans customizable for a specific amount of calories and ingredients?
this is absolutely where we want to go. So we see the power not just in thinking about the shop that you've got to get done, and especially given that our customers are very often in this mindset of, just need to make this happen. I've got so many other things to do. But we want to take people on journeys. We think this is most exciting when this is part of you reaching some sort of goal. And that could be a health goal. So if you tell us that you're trying to lose weight, we should be able to take you there. Maybe over 3 months, 6 months, help you with personalized meal plans, maybe even grab together a cohort of people to join that with you, motivating each other. And suddenly this isn't the shop anymore. This is exciting. This is about helping you to get to that place you wanted to get to. So the answer is very soon. We want to build that in. It's absolutely on the roadmap.
Very excited for that feature. And maybe to wrap it up, we have a lot of international people joining in from multiple regions. So you're now available in the UK. Where will you go next?
Oh, that's a great question. Off the top of my head, I think I like the idea of moving across Europe. And we will look for markets, I suppose, that are as similar to the UK as possible. In that we can take some of our learnings and immediately kind of land and hit the ground running. But I couldn't say exactly which country yet. So if you are a big retailer in one of those countries, feel free to contact me, and that may well shift the prioritization.
Sounds great. And maybe that's like the kind of wrapping up note to the audience. We will also launch our poll again. So if you want to talk to Tom about synergies, launching in new countries, have ideas for the business, please let us know now and we will connect you afterwards. And thanks everyone for the questions. And of course, Tom, for your excellent presentation and the time today. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
And with this, we will continue in the entrepreneurial spirit and actually will have our startups on stage next. In the last 6 months, we worked with these 6 companies and identified them as some of the highlights. And this is why we share them on our expo today. We will have Userlane, Datazeit, Writesonic, Simplesurance, Digital Shadows, and Seon on stage today. And we're really looking forward to their pitch, but also to your questions. For this part, I will hand over to my colleagues Johannes Wiesoller and Daria Pellini, our venture stars that source these companies, work with them, and it will guide you to the second part of the event. They will join us on stage right after our first startup pitch. And with that, I would like to welcome Hartmut from Userlane to the stage. Userlane is making it easy for everyone to use any software. And we're really excited what they do with our partners, but also what they might be able to do for your business. So I would say, Hartmut, you're the best to tell your journey and your story. And the stage is yours.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I hope you can all see my screen right now. I'm Hartmut. I'm the founder and CEO of Userlane. We're a software company based in Munich, Germany, about 5 years old. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about how we help large organizations. Basically, what we do is we help enterprises accelerate technology initiatives. Sounds awfully abstract, but I'm going to go right into the detail in a few minutes. We have about 250 customers, 100 employees, about 50 million active users, and are live in about 32 countries. So quite some growth, also a little bit fueled by COVID. Just so you know, who we normally work with across all industries, from financial service to retail, consumer goods, but also really fast-moving startups like Celonis or Personio. So you're probably asking yourself, okay, what are all these companies doing with this Munich startup I maybe have never heard of? All of those companies have the same challenges when it comes to their digital initiatives. And you might hear a lot of really, really cool ideas in the world of technology today and over the next few days. But the biggest challenge that people have when it comes to digital transformation or new offerings is not actually technology. If you look at what would be possible today, augmented reality would, from a technology perspective, be absolutely possible. Even metaverse shopping, second world style, technologically would be possible. Technology is there. Also, the processes are technically there. I don't think it would be impossible to go into an online supermarket, click on something, and it would be ordered to my home. The biggest challenge that all of those companies have is on the people side. Because in reality, the reality is, and if I look at myself, I would be confused like going online shopping in some virtual world. And that's the same thing for a lot of like customers or employees of large organizations. If you think about it, in the last 2 years, what happened when you were like confronted with some really, really cool new software that your employer introduced? You saw it, you saw a lot of buttons, but you had no idea what to do. And the result, what did you do next? You might have asked a colleague, which is super hard in the world of like remote. You might have like filed a support ticket with someone and have to wait a few days for the next answer. Or you would like go online and like look on YouTube for like some sort of tutorial and spend the next 3 hours watching funny cat videos, but not really getting to your goal. And that means if people don't understand technology, there are a lot of problems. A lot of the new technologies that like CRM or like HR software or like even customer-facing portals, they are rolled out, but very, very slowly. It just takes so much time to get people used to it. And when they're live, people might use like 3 to 5% of it, but they don't really use the full potential that you invested in it. Also, everything you enter, the people enter in data might be wrong, might be not right, because they just don't know how to handle it. And your support requests will explode because people are just overwhelmed with like all the new technology and new functionality stuff there. So at Userlane, we said, okay, we need to solve that. And we need to solve that in a way that people don't need to go anywhere else, that they just basically stay in the application and get help exactly where and when they need it most. So we have like developed basically technology that is an overlay, and you can lay it over any browser-based application. Can be an online shop, online community, can be any third-party software, Salesforce, Workday, whatever you use internally. And with Userlane, you can create, without coding, interactive guides and guide people to any process. But not only that, you can also connect it to all of your knowledge bases and videos and whatever you already have available. And the people don't need to like leave the actual application. They just can click on the Userlane widget and access everything that you already have without ever leaving the platform. And this is basically how we help our large organizations and why so many customers use us. And looking at it, let me quickly, yes, what we use is platform has multiple things from interactive guidance, announcements, feedback, contextual support, analytics and insights. And the most important things you need to know about this is it works out of the box with any web-based software, no development. You can go live within days. You can create content without coding. Everybody can create the content that you like allow them to. Normally it's like either a support person or the product owner. And it looks the same across every application. Imagine you're using like 20, 50 applications in-house, and you always have like the Userlane widget, and no matter where people have a question, they can always like click on it and get customized automated help directly configured to like the software they're currently in. And the results are faster rollouts, a lot higher product adoption, less mistakes and higher process compliance, and about 50% less support tickets. And happy to answer any questions you might have about us. Thank you.
Great, Hartmut. Thank you very much for the presentation. Before we continue, welcome everybody from my side. I'm Daria Pellini, and I work together with Johannes and Caroline at the brand and retail vertical, also for the Munich office. I'm really looking forward to the startup pitches we are having today, to the 2 pilot showcase, and then to the breakout sessions we will have later. But now I will leave the floor to my dear colleague Johannes, also for a quick introduction from his side.
Thank you very much, Daria. I'm Johannes, the Venture Associate from the brand and retail vertical here in Munich. Welcome from my side as well. So let us continue with you, Hartmut, and the Q&A.
Yeah, so Hartmut, we have a couple of questions from the audience. So the first one is about what are your average adoption rates of users for new software?
That really depends on the software. It can go like very high. For example, if it's like a corporate intranet that's launched to like 100,000 people, we had adoption rates that are like above 80%. That means like above 80% of the users were using like a certain part of the software. But if it's a software that's just seldom used, for example, think about HR software, where you go in maybe once a month to like file your vacation dates or something like that. Obviously, like the targets you set yourself are a lot lower, but we provide our customers with benchmarks so they know roughly what to expect from which software category.
Okay, clear. Thank you so much. We also have another question coming from the audience that is about how does Userlane comply with internal policies on employees' data besides the existing regulations?
It's like the big advantage and challenge we have being based out of Germany. That means like we needed to be like GDPR compliant from the very first second, and invested a lot of like time and money into doing that. That means also in terms of like the data we collect, it's completely anonymous. We don't care if like one employee is more productive than another one. We can show you data and we can show you where people generally struggle or where they are already quite good. But we will tell you that I say like, oh yeah, hey, Johannes has really problems like filing his expense account. So like that's not interesting, at least not for us.
Okay, perfect. Great. Thank you so much, Hartmut. It was a pleasure having you today and also getting to know more about employee training and customer centricity. So just a quick reminder to the audience, we have another poll on the right side corner of your screen through which you can request an introduction to Userlane. Also, if you want to go the next mile, you can also directly connect with the startup pitcher through our direct messages option that you can also find on the right of your screen. So going into the next pitch, we have Datazeit with us, which has been part of a deal flow hosted by Plug and Play last year. So please welcome Jeff, the CEO and co-founder of Datazeit, which empowers companies to take fact-based decisions by exploiting the value of customers and product data. So welcome, Jeff, and the floor is yours. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you both for the introduction. I'm very delighted to be here. I'm a very big fan to the event, so thank for all the contributors, because already the last event was like very successful for us. So we are already like working on like long-term projects. Yeah, so thank you in advance. Let me share my screen.
Perfect.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Okay. So yeah, hi again. I'm Jeff, co-founder of Datazeit. We are a team of data and AI experts, and we are revolutionizing the way how people create products, execute marketing, and understand customers by reinventing the discovery process with data. So today, people are still suffering with the amount of data, with the amount of tools, but also with the complexity. And at the same time, what we are seeing is that employees are still spending more time searching for information instead of creating knowledge out of them. What does it mean in concrete? In concrete, it means employees spend 3 hours every day only looking for answers. 50% of their searches end up in failure. And there was recently a study which mentioned that it leads to costs of €1 million per 1,000 employees per month. So this is the problem what we are seeing. So how do we want to empower employees to like embrace a change? Over the last 4 years, we developed a technology which should give our customers a better understanding of products, target groups, and competitors. So what is our technology doing? On the one hand, we have like one pillar, which is like able to get like 150 million data points per day from public data like social media or the World Wide Web. So for example, it can be an ingredient from Douglas, it can be like a price from Amazon, it can be a search from Google. Right now we have like over 800 data sources in place. This is our basis, but the magic sauce is like what is coming like after the data. So we created like different machine learning models. At the end, we call it like a knowledge graph for product and consumer topics. So what we are really focusing on is that we are like getting the context out of the data. And this is also like our USP in the market. We know there are like a lot of companies which are like scraping data, but this is not like our like main advantage. So it's really the magic sauce is really like the machine learning models which are able to get like context out of the data. So just to mention like some outputs, what we already created in different projects. It's like very diverse. So for example, we are like getting market data from different marketplaces in order to like, for example, monitor competitors or brands. On the other hand, we are getting search data, for example, to observe how is the customer and what about is the customer talking. In a recent project, we tracked over 50,000 Shopify shops and connected these KPIs with like KPIs from social media. So at the end, we were able to see like, hey, what kind of micro brands are arising in which country, in which category. And another bucket is like review data. So for example, based on review data, we can like give recommendations like what kind of aspects for a product are like the most important, what emotions are customers talking about. So these are like 4 pillars of our technology. We have like right now different use cases. For example, I think like from the last event, since the last plug and play event, we are starting to work with Cosnova and Lidl, but there are like different fields. I would say that we are like currently mainly operating in the consumer goods industry and retail industry, but we are also other projects. For example, in one of the last projects, we are working like I think with the biggest football club in Germany, and for that club, we are generating data for like soccer players like around the world, like combining market value with like some other statistics. So it can be very diverse at the end. Besides me, there's like Wilhelm Reider. Wilhelm Reider is like the CTO of Datazeit. He's a former rocket science and is like responsible for the whole tech department. And we also have like Rituraj Mitra. Rituraj Mitra is the CPO at Datazeit. So he's like responsible for the whole topic around product management. Below you find like just some of our advisors. So it's like Tobias Neveling is one of our investors. Sanam is like a marketing leader, which is converting data to strategy. And Michael Schummert, he's the now ex-CEO of Babor. And right now we are 16 people based in Cologne. We from 2016 until 2020, we were fully bootstrapped, did a pre-seed round last year, and opened the doors for a seed round in Q2. This is like our roughly roadmap over the last years. And yeah, thank you very much for the intention. I'm really looking forward for questions and exchange. Yeah, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Do you hear us now clearly?
Sorry?
Do you hear us?
I hear us, but not very loud.
Okay, sorry, maybe my mic a bit. Let me adjust it. We just had technical issues. That's why your slides weren't changing, but we will definitely follow up to this and we try to contact you. But in the end, we have already some first questions and your presentation is amazing. So it was pretty clear to me, and in that sense, you can later on also request the pitch deck via the poll.
Can you somehow raise the volume a bit?
Yeah. Does it
because
work
it's
now?
like very hard to understand.
Okay, does it work now?
It's a bit better because my volume is already on maximum, so I think it should be on your side. I don't know.
Let us try again. How's it now?
It's a bit better, yeah.
Yeah, okay, no, let's do it that way. So, first question is right into the direction of personal data. So if you're working with personal data, how do you ensure compliance? So
Sorry again?
If in case you're working with personal data, how do you ensure compliance? So just in case.
So we are mainly focusing on like public data. So everything which is like public available, we are not working with personal data. So we don't have like any GDPR issues. So you can imagine just working with public data, which is like available for everyone.
Okay, no, perfect. Then second question is how How are you different from Celonis?
Yeah, totally. I think this is very important to emphasize. So as I mentioned, there are like a lot of companies who are like in the data crawling, data scraping area, but what we are really focusing is on the AI part. So it's like, it's still a big gap from just having data to like knowledge and context. So this is what we're mainly focusing on. So our focus is like really connecting the different data points, not just scraping it and like doing the visualization. So it's really about like connecting data points.
All right, we got it. Thank you very much for your pitch.
Good.
So now, if you want to get additional insights from him, feel free to take the poll and connect with him directly via Helpin. Thank you very much, Dad.
Cool, thank you. Bye-bye.
Our third pitch comes from Writesonic. Writesonic's AI only needs a few lines of text and can convert out of this little bit of information immersive content. Giants like Evernote and Salesforce trust them, so do several corporate partners of us after being introduced via deep dive format at Plug and Play. So let us welcome Sam, the CEO and founder of Writesonic on stage. Hey Sam, how are you doing?
Doing very good. Thank you very much for the introduction. Very happy to be here.
Feel free to share your screen.
Awesome. I'll just quickly share my screen. Yep. Cool. I'm assuming everyone can see my screen.
Yeah, we do. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. I'll take it from there then. So hi, everyone. I'm Sam. I'm the founder and CEO at Writesonic. So we are a Y Combinator-backed company, and essentially we are building an AI-powered content automation platform. I'll go into it in a bit more depth as we go forward. So let's quickly talk about the problems that we, Writesonic have seen in almost every single industry when it comes to content. So let's talk about that. So one is the task of writing in-depth, consistent, and informative marketing copy and content. That has always been a major source of problem for businesses. Writers get writer's block and they are not able to come up with new ideas for their content. Second is that finding good writers is a very hard and time-consuming process. Lots of companies outsource their content to freelancers or agencies, which is still very costly and frustrating because there's a lot of back and forth that is involved. Third is that if you're an international company, you would want to write in multiple different styles and languages so that you can target many different audience segments. So for that, you need to make sure that your content is localized to that specific location, as well as it kind of resonates with that audience. And then finally, the market keeps changing very quickly. So you need to make sure that your content follows the latest trends and best practices as well. So to kind of solve these problems, for the last year or so, we have been working on Writesonic. So essentially what we are trying to build is an end-to-end content automation platform. So currently we use some of the world's biggest and the most advanced natural language models to generate unique and engaging marketing content for any kind of industry within seconds. So here are some of the content types we support, like more than 50 of them right now. For example, for e-commerce and retail, we can generate things like personalized product titles, descriptions, benefits, that kind of stuff. We can also generate social media posts, website landing page copy, ads for Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, and many other platforms, as well as long form content. Like we can generate like a full blown blog post, like a 1500 word blog post within 10 to 15 seconds. And yeah, we have a couple more things like emails and newsletters that will help you with your marketing and sales emails kind of stuff as well. Here's just a quick image that kind of represents how our AI works. So on the left, if you see, we have a product here. It's a purple hair conditioner, and then at the bottom we have like some like attributes or keywords that are associated with that product. And now just with these two pieces of information, the name and the keywords or the attributes, on the right-hand side, our AI has kind of come up with totally unique, personalized titles, product descriptions, long-form product description, as well as bullet points and stuff, like totally unique and totally personalized. All 100% unique, written by our AI. So let's quickly talk about the benefits that a tool like Writesonic can have. So one is that you can write proven high converting marketing content because our models have been trained on the best content from the top brands. So it knows what works and what kind of patterns resonate well. Second is it helps writers with overcoming writer's block, streamlines your writing process and helps you, save time, money, and efforts. Target many different languages and audience at the same time, reduce your dependence on agencies and freelancers. And finally, we can integrate directly with your PIM system so that you can, do bulk processing of your products and then publish it directly through your PIM system. Quickly going to jump into a demo here, where I'll quickly showcase our tool here. So as I just mentioned, we have like 50 different kinds of things that we support. For example, we have our AI article writer that can generate full-length blog posts, ads, product descriptions, Google ads, and so on. We have like tons of different kinds of content that we generate. So for the sake of this presentation, I'll just quickly generate some Facebook ads. So I have some example here. Let's take an example of a product called Airy. So I'll just enter in the name, and I'll then just enter in like a one-line description about that product here. So just enter 2 things there. And if there is a discount or promotion going on, let's say, it's Black Friday maybe. So I'll enter that. And let's say we are offering 30% off. We have 25 different languages that we support right now. So you can pick that if you wish. I'll just go with English for now and then click the generate button. And here our AI will come up with 5 different Facebook ads, totally personalized for that product. Like there's no plagiarism here and it's all unique. So I'll just quickly zoom in a bit so that you can quickly go through some of them. And yeah, if you see it even adds emojis and stuff to kind of make it more engaging. And you can then, just export it, import it on your Facebook Ads Manager or whatever platform that you use to kind of manage your content, essentially. Similarly, as I mentioned, there are other kinds of things like Google Ads, product descriptions, landing pages that we can come up with as well. And I'll just quickly go back to the slides now, just cover a couple more things. So, just something about us. So we are Y Combinator backed, the same acceleration program who also backed Stripe and Airbnb and companies like Dropbox. And just last year, we raised a 2.5 million seed round from some of the top VC funds in the Silicon Valley. We've got lots of media coverage as well and have more than 5,000 5-star reviews on platforms like Capterra, G2, and Trustpilot. And this is just like a short summary of what we can do, what Writesonic can do for your company. So we can generate brand-specific, company-specific product titles, descriptions, keywords, ads, and lots of other things. Make sure that all your content is optimized for SEO so that you have, better click-through rates and better conversion rates. Generate ads for your product so that you can kind of, focus more on the paid marketing side and get some good results from there. Draft long-form content like blog posts, emails, newsletters. And then finally, for your existing content, which is not that great, we can help rewrite that so that you can target multiple different audiences in multiple different languages. That's all from my side. Thank you very much. Happy to answer any questions.
Great. Thank you, Sam, for pitching Writesonic today. We have some questions coming from the audience. So first of all, which languages do you support at the moment?
So other than English, we support like 25 other European languages. That includes German, Spanish, French, and multiple other languages. Almost most of the European languages are supported right now.
Okay, wow, that's a lot of languages. Another question is about who are your largest clients and are you present in Germany?
So we are like we have a global client base. We are working with companies in US as well as in Europe. So for example, in the Europe, our biggest client would be Schneider Electric, who have like hundreds of thousands of products. So right now we are working with them to help them generate descriptions for their products in 30 different languages because, it's a huge company. So it will help them kind of scale up their content production to multiple regions in multiple different segments as well.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Sam, for being with us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. And to all the participants, you can now select to the poll whether you'd like to get connected with Sam from Writesonic. So now let's move on to one of our main highlights of this event. We will now present a rollout showcase between our corporate partner, the SCHWARZ Group, and Cognigy. So SCHWARZ Group has been a partner of Plug and Play for 5 years now. And 2 years ago, they were looking for a conversational AI platform which was highly flexible. And with the help of Plug and Play, we have sourced companies exclusively for this specific business case, and we have helped the SCHWARZ group to find the perfect partner, Cognigy. So after a successful pilot, the rollout followed, and it brought incredible efficiency gains to the SCHWARZ group. Now it's time to hear more about this incredible journey from Christian, who is the manager of the digital voice assistant at the SCHWARZ group. And then we also have Bernd, senior sales representative at Cognigy. So I see that you're both here. So please, you can go ahead and the floor is yours.
So thanks for having me here. I'm Bernd Wertz. I'm a senior sales executive within Cognigy, and my first part is to introduce you to Cognigy and what it's about. So actually, Cognigy has been founded in 2016, and we are headquartered in Düsseldorf in Germany. Actually, we have around 120 employees, and our plans for this year is already to be above 200. Thanks to SCHWARZ IT and all our other nice customers to helping us to get there. So what is Cognigy about? Cognigy is an automation platform which helps and enables enterprises to create and operate AI-based and powered calls and chats from customers, partners, and from employees. How do we do this? Oh, sorry, this is the wrong folio. I'm missing one folio. I'm sorry. So our platform contains with different modules. So we come with our own NLU, are able, and you will see it from Christian as well, that we can connect to other NLUs as Rasa or Watson as well. And we have an integration platform which allows you to automate processes across your CRM, your ERP system, and all this kind of stuff. Actually, we are named as a leader in the IDC report from 2021, which is about conversational AI platforms. And just a couple of days back, we are also named as a leader in the first Gartner Magic Quadrant, whichever was published, I think 10 days back. Having said that, now it's my pleasure to hand over to Christian, who will tell you about more about our platform and how it fits to SCHWARZ IT. And thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Bernd. So let me share my screen really quickly. So first of all, good morning. My name is Chris, and I'm very happy to be here today. So kind of network issues, just wait for it. Is it better now? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I'm super excited today to talk to you about my favorite topic, about conversational AI, and how we introduced a new conversational middleware together with our partner Cognigy. In my day-to-day business, I have the great pleasure to bundle and drive the topics around conversational AI within the SCHWARZ group. And more generally, my team and I, we are responsible for basically all projects around the topic of chat and voice bots for our retail divisions, Lidl and Kaufland, as well as our manifold other subsidiaries. This includes chatbots on channels like Facebook or WhatsApp, or digital assistants in our phone system, or on smart speakers like the Google Assistant. Moreover, I am serving the Linux Foundation's Open Voice Network as the chairman of the Technical Advisory Board, and here we aim to establish uniform standards for a borderless voice experience. So I've got 10 minutes to tell you briefly about the challenges we were facing as a company and how we solved those challenges with the help of Cognigy. And I will give you insights about our initial phase and show you a concrete example how we transferred an MVP to a global rollout. And hopefully at the end, we will have a couple of minutes more for your questions and for kind of a discussion. So conversational AI is the next wave of customer and employee experiences. That is our shared vision, I would say. That is what drives us every day. And language, the spoken word is for me, maybe the most complex manifestation of human intelligence. Language is remarkably nuanced and adaptable. It can be literal or figurative, kind of flowery or plain, incentive or informational. So this versatility makes language one of humanity's greatest tools, and thus, for us, it's perfectly suited as an input medium. Unfortunately, language does not stand alone, but always appears in kind of a certain context. And in our case, this is our context. It is the SCHWARZ group. And frankly, the baseline of this slide could be, we are huge and we are diverse. We are running almost 30,000 stores in 33 countries. We have around half a million employees. We are having over 5 billion customers every day, only in our stores, not in our online e-commerce shops. And we are achieving sales of over 100 billion euros. Though this size and diversity gives rise to a large number of possible use cases, which is awesome. And what we are facing in this context is a couple of challenges, because we want to establish a conversational voice platform in such a huge company for a couple of use cases. And 3 major challenges we are facing every day and we are working every day on are the following 3. The first one is the growing need for content on a wide variety of channels, or in other words, omni-channel. We want to reach out to our customers on basically all channels, on WhatsApp, Facebook, Google Assistant, a smart speaker in a fridge or something like this. We want to play all channels. And the second large challenge is expectations. So when I talk to our C-level or to our business department, I am always struggling with kind of a cinematic fantasy. So when we are talking about digital assistant, management often asks me, okay, Chris, so we are bringing out digital assistants and I can ask basically every question and I always get the right answer. And yes and no, that's not how things work. It's not like implementing the computer from Star Trek or Jarvis from the Iron Man movies. So managing expectations is pretty crucial for us. And the third and maybe biggest challenge is the interest of using the assistant in totally different scenarios for internal use cases, for customer-related use cases, and of course, we have more than 30 countries, and so we want to roll out in different countries. And different countries means different challenges, because it's language, and so it's much harder to roll out a language-based application than an iOS app. So what we did is we created kind of a meta architecture for us. We have a super heterogeneous IT infrastructure. We have super many different IT backend systems, and we want to connect them all. And so we have a 2-layer architecture. We have the first layer, which we call is the human-machine interaction layer, which has no graphical user interface, where we do things like ticket clustering or other NLP-related topics. And on top of this is our heart, that is our conversational middleware, that is Cognigy, which gives us the opportunity to do all the magic we want to do. Cognigy is super flexible, is super modular. We can connect to different natural language processing services like Rasa or Google's Dialogflow. We can connect to different cognitive services like Google's data loss prevention API or other Azure-based services. We have the possibility to connect to a wide variety of channels. So we are connected to Microsoft Teams, to the phone system, web plugins, and so on. And for us, very important, we have the ability to create custom APIs and use totally different SDKs. So that's really great, and that is maybe the solution we needed for our use cases. So let me take you to our journey to success. And on a first glance, you may notice that there is a pretty long period on this slide. And I tell you what, that a success story is not necessarily starting as a fairy tale. So we started with initial talks in batch 5 or 6, I'm not 100% sure, in late 2019. And we were convinced that Cognigy has a good product, but we didn't start a pilot at this point because we were in struggle. We have focused on an internal development, and so there was a management decision that we have to focus on our internal product. But at this point, we shared the same vision. We have had great conversations, and so we decided to stay in touch and to watch Cognigy very closely. And so the time goes on, and we see many more use cases arising in the group. And 8 or 9 months later, we were faced the decision, the classical make or buy decision. So yes, I reached out again to Bernd and said, okay, we have to talk again. We have to talk about how we can work together. And this time we were starting a pilot, and we were trying to figure out how good the platform fit our needs. And to do so, we decided to migrate and improve an already existing project and phone bot in our IVR, which is the interactive voice response system in the phone line. And we decided to do this MVP in the United Kingdom with Lidl. And we decided for a phone case or a voice case because, don't get me wrong, chat is not easy. Chat has also challenges, but voice is Champions League. Especially in the UK, you have, at least for me as a not native speaker, super hard dialects like Scottish or people from Wales. You have a technical interface, the phone, which is not perfect. And so it was quite a challenge, but the MVP went very well. The results were great. And so at the end of 2020, we decided to begin a partnership, and the contracts were signed. Last year was mainly migrating all of the existing stuff to Cognigy and setting up and building the infrastructure we need for worldwide or global cases. And this year, we want, together with Cognigy, go ahead. We want growth. We want to build more bots in more countries, and we want to advance digitalization within the SCHWARZ group. Let me go a little bit deeper into our showcase, the IVR phone bot. The MVP, as I already mentioned, started in United Kingdom. At the moment, we have a productive use in the US and in France as well, and we are currently in the implementation for Spain and the Netherlands. The idea is that at Lidl, we have many phone calls per day, and many of those phone calls are not complex. They are pretty standard, like customers are asking for opening hours or asking questions about Lidl Plus, our customer relationship program. So we decided to put our focus on simple use cases first with a clear return on invest. And so opening hours was our first case, and we decided not to replace the IVR completely, but rather replace different lanes in the IVR. So when you call now in the UK, the Lidl hotline, a voice answers and asks you, okay, what can I do for you? press 1 for opening hours, press 2 for special offers or something like this. And when you press the 1, you are not connected to a call center agent anymore, but you're rather connected to a digital assistant, which asks you for your postal code, street, and all the information we need to find your next store and give you the opening hours of the store. Additionally, it could always happen that we don't find the right store, that there's a problem, we can't understand the customer and so on. So we have integrated a very smooth handover to live agent. So we are integrated into our Salesforce system, which we use on legal side for the customer service. And so there's really a seamless customer experience, a good interaction between the digital assistant and the real agent in the service center. What we see is that we receive a very high resolution rate and a low handover rate, which is always good because at the end of the day, it saves us costs. And of course, we ask our customers how was the feeling by using the digital assistant, and the feedback is very great. It's very good, and so we see a very high customer satisfaction. What is planned for this year? We want to roll out in 11 additional countries, which is quite a challenge. 11 countries is a high number, but we are pretty confident that we can do this. And besides that, we want to integrate more and more use cases. For example, about product information and special offers in the IVR, with the ultimate goal to replace the IVR with a digital assistant. So, in a nutshell, what made the MVP successful? It was the modular and far-sighted architecture in the MVP. So we never started by building a fast track thing, but we have rather used an approach which was very straightforward, always with the goal to roll out those things. So this was really, really good. What we have learned that even difficulties in getting started are not necessarily an obstacle to a stable partnership, because right now we have a great partnership with Cognigy, and we are working closely together, and we are very happy that Cognigy is our conversational middleware. And of course, the Retail Tech Hub was for us the important breeding ground we needed for this, because otherwise we may not have recognized Cognigy at this stage, because now Cognigy is named as leader in the Gartner in the Gartner Magical Quadrant, but 2 years ago not. So without the Retail Tech Hub, we may have never met, and so for us it was totally important that we have given the opportunity of the Retail Tech Hub. So that's everything from my side. I think we have a couple of minutes left for discussion and questions.
Christian, Ben, thank you so much for those amazing results. It's really wonderful to see how you're adapting also to new countries, what your roadmap is expecting, and so on. So the first question, I mean, as you have mentioned, Christian, the SCHWARZ Group is huge and diverse. So the first question goes to Bernd. How was it from your perspective to partner up with such a large corporation like SCHWARZ Group? What was new for you?
So to be honest, we have a lot of very huge global partners already using Cognigy as a platform. So names like Adidas or even Lufthansa to come to other industries. So it was nothing new, but of course we decided to get a customer success department in place to really make sure that such rollouts and POCs are really driven with our experience and our experts, so that they are successful. And of course, customers like SCHWARZ IT have influence on our roadmap. So what will be next features, what is needed to become better and better as a platform as such.
I mean, setting up an entirely new customer service team is insane and really cool to see. So my question to you, Christian, would also be, What was additionally convincing for you to partner up with Cognigy besides those efforts that were made?
The high speed in which the product of Cognigy is developing. So we watched very closely how Cognigy is evolving, and we were totally impressed how fast they are growing and how fast the product is growing. They created so many new features, and they were so responsive. Though for us it was pretty clear, okay, we are also a fast company, not in all parts, but mainly, and so we need a partner that is also fast, especially in a fast-moving technology field. So yeah, maybe at the end that was one of the main drivers.
I mean, that speaks for you, Bernd. So therefore, Christian and Bernd, thank you so much for staying with us, introducing those amazing results. We are really proud to have connected you 2 years ago. So therefore, see you soon. And that's it. We have seen many successful approaches and this incredible project with Cognigy. Our first section is now over. And if you would like to know more about this case, feel free to contact with Caroline. Now it's getting interactive. We will switch to the 3 breakout sessions. Those will be moderated by us and co-moderated by the colleagues from Hornbach. The topics will be customer centricity, sustainable last mile delivery, and brands in the metaverse. If you want to enter the breakout session now, go to your left bar on Hopin, click on sessions, and choose your favorite session over there. Also, let me introduce you to Olivia. She's a graphic artist who will do a wonderful scribbling of the main stage and everything you will experience here. So Olivia, feel free to share your screen for those who will stay on the main stage. Meanwhile, we will switch to the sessions and see you back at 11:20.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had some great and insightful discussions in the breakout rooms. Now it's again time for startup pitches. So specifically in this section, we will have some startups in the field of embedded insurance and cybersecurity. So as a first pitcher, please welcome Lorena, the team lead vendor and partner growth manager at Simplesurance, which is a startup which was part of one of our deal flow last year. And it creates a platform for simple access to insurance in order to combine traditional insurance industries with digital businesses. So are you here, Lorena, with us?
Yes,
Great.
hi. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me today. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, and we can also see your screen.
Okay, so thanks for having me. I will start to introduce my company, Simplesurance, best-class technology platform to connect customer to insurance. What we call Simplesurance platform is a set of different tech solutions that allowed us every day to serve every kind of business. We can operate with e-commerce, neobank, traditional bank, and even airline. And also by partnering with many insurance, we can match together with the tech solution the most accurate insurance service that we can also customize based on our partner needs, targets, audience. With our platform, we have really reduced the time to market to offer insurance to every kind of partner. Global scalability. Simplesurance has started and still running business, operating as multiple agents all across Europe, and since a couple of years in Japan as well. During this time, we have also decided to extend our range outside Europe, and we have started to operate as insurance as service. This means that we support insurance group to boost their business by using our 100% digital platform that covers end-to-end requirement for simple onboarding, claim management, customer support. Technical provider. Why we define ourselves technical provider? Our platform is already available and tested to distribute immediately several business. We work according with e-commerce, fintechs, OEM, and we support also in this project of insurance as service our insurance partner also to scale up geographically. So if they have a partner that has the core business in Europe, we can also help them at the moment also to move outside, like in the US, in Asia, or whatever they need to be supported. When we speak about connectivity platform, it's very important for us that since the beginning in our vision, we always want to be able to serve every kind of business. We have deal with reduced IT capability or very good IT capability, online, offline, in-app business, post-sales. So for this reason, we have developed an entire platform that simplify and accelerate the connection of our partner with the insurance business and its distribution. We have on the market several solutions that allows every kind of partner, every kind of business, every kind of size company to immediately distribute insurance service. How we do this? With, for example, our API solution. The API solution is one of the best offer of Simplesurance. It offers to our partner with just a unique tech integration to add immediately multiple insurance service, like mobile electronics, stationary electronic, cybersecurity, travel insurance. It also has been developed to support insurance offer like marketplace, like we are normally seeing in application like N26, Revolut, where the customer can decide to activate additional insurance service, or maybe embed business. We have also experienced, like for example, with the Hyperbank in Italy, the possibility to embed product to credit card, or even in profile premium. All the additional service, like for example, customer care, policy management, claim management, can be performed by us or by the insurer. The plugin solution, or what we normally call worry-free package, is the easiest solution integration tool that we offer to e-commerce, marketplace, OEMs, and telco provider. We call worry-free package because no programming is required. It generates instant revenue with a very minimal effort. And also really our partner can, in less than 2 days, be ready to offer insurance to the customer in the checkout, for example, and generate immediately revenue through the insurance service. With this solution, we can also support the improvement of the performance, so the conversion in the checkout, propose our partner an A/B testing that will allow also to match the most accurate insurance service that the customer can buy. And also, like normal for the API, we perform everything that is connected with the claim acquisition, the resolution of the claim, and also the repair of the device. Another kind of solution that we offer to our partner is the white label shop. Is a total responsive web tool that let our partner to distribute insurance outside the traditional checkout, I would say. It has been created very specifically for OEM, and normally is delivered in the website, in the same design of the design of our partner, and has a very intuitive journey and easy insurance activation. It supports, as I was saying, very well our OEM's partner, like for example, Samsung, that connect the customer to their protection insurance device through, for example, marketing campaign. We have also in this year developed a little bit and improved the customer journey for the white label. The QR
Lorena,
code.
do you mind to wrap up, as we're already a bit out of time?
Yes, okay.
Feel free to take a few seconds to wrap it up.
Yeah, okay. And with this solution, we have just increased the accessibility to the tool through a QR code. This means that the customer can easily scan the label, attach it to the product or immediately to the package, and land directly in a page to protect the device that they have bought. We have also other kind of a solution. Yes?
Now we have to wrap it up,
okay,
as we have already hit the timer. But one question. Can you also describe very briefly another use case within the retail industry you have realized so far? So maybe an additional one you haven't shown yet.
But I have to be sincere, we deal with a lot of partners. So the most interesting one is the case that we are developing with N26. For them, through our API, we are adding very different insurance service. And also we are trying not to be ambitious, just to create an easy distribution, very seamless, that can be triggered from a push notification when the customer is installing the N26 app on a new device, but also really to match the need and the USP of the bank. So we are working closely together to develop insurance that follow also the growth of the bank.
That's a great insight. I think that was needed as the cherry. And therefore, thank you very much for your presentation, Lorena.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Bye. Thank you.
So if you want to have the intro to Lorena, just let us know in the poll now. You can connect also with her on the Open platform as well. Our next startup sheds light on security areas in all kinds of companies. Digital Shadows participated at our first micro selection day last year. Their platform Searchlight, a digital risk management solution, helps many companies and in many industries. So let's welcome Severin on stage. Hi, Severin.
Hi, everyone.
Well.
Hi. Thank you very
Great to
much.
have you.
Thank you. The former FBI director, Robert Mueller, once said the following quote: "There are only two types of companies, those that have been hacked and those that will be. And even they are converging into one category: companies that have been hacked and will be hacked again." This year, 2.5 quintillions of bytes of data will be created every day. Alternatively, that would be the storage space of 36 million iPads, again made every day. Recently, more than 80 billion euros were made in the e-commerce sector, and that only in Germany. IT experts fear that we will suffer $10.5 trillion damage by 2025 through cyber attacks. If I Google the term cyber attack, I get nearly 350 million results. For example, healthcare companies have lost data. Robinhood had to deal with phishing attacks in November last year. Another news, patient data was stolen and made public. Thanks to the internet, there are a lot of threats from the internet. Some target us specifically, some only become a danger later. Connected to the internet, we are exposed to a wide variety of dangers. Often the dangers are of criminal origin, some arise from ignorance or carelessness. Weakly configured systems are often to blame for data being lost and made publicly available for the whole world. Digital Shadows detects data that has become unwittingly public on the open, deep, and dark web, helping organizations minimize the resulting digital risk from external threats. With Searchlight, organizations can comply with data protection regulations, prevent the data loss of intellectual property, and avoid reputational damage. The solution helps to minimize digital risk, reduce the attack surface, and protect brand and company names. What makes us so unique is the fact with our international and multilingual team based all over the world, we only display relevant information and limit you to the most important alerts and incidents. A unique and intuitive graphical interface for easy using and understanding is provided. And of course, you will save time and money while using our tool while getting the best knowledge about your data. Colored indicators with corresponding letters show the importance of a threat. You can already see in the title which threat type it is and which information from your company is connected to it. Furthermore, you can define the responsibilities manually or fully automatically for the individual findings. There's further contextual information and playbooks for each alarm. With these, you receive specific information from us on how to behave in the security incident. I would be happy to take a deeper 360-degree look at your company together with you soon. Please feel free to reach out for further information. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you so much, Severin, for presenting Digital Shadows today. We have a question from the audience. What kind of customers' data are you leveraging?
Basically, every information we can get of a company. So personal names, brand names, domain addresses, project names, literally everything you can give us, which we can identify on the internet to find this information and to show you an alarm or a risk about this kind of information.
Okay, so a great amount of data, I imagine. And
no limit.
Yeah. And what is your accuracy rate of cyber risk detection?
Sorry?
What is your accuracy rate?
We try to give you only the results, only the alarms you actually want to know. So we remove already over 95% of all the noise from the internet and on the information. So less than 5% of the findings from the internet, of your footsteps, of your footprints are relevant information. And this is only the one we deliver and support.
Okay, great. Thank you, Severin, for the precise answer. And another quick reminder for the audience, please click yes on the poll if you want to be connected with Severin after the event. So now let's move on to the last speech for today. We have the pleasure of having with us Benz, Business Development Manager at Seon, which is a startup that participated at our Micro Selection Day last year in October. It is a cybersecurity company which enables faster emergency responses, but also better access to help. But let's hear more about it from Benz, who is here on the line. Yes.
Hi there, welcome everyone. So just to correct, we deal with fraud prevention, so it's like more fintech specific, not really cybersecurity, but indeed we are protecting companies, as you mentioned.
Okay, great.
So yeah, I would actually jump over to my presentation straight away if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you. We don't really have like a slide presentation for this kind of events. What we do is generally we jump into the platform itself, which I'm planning to do as well onwards. So just to give a few sentences about us, we are Seon fraud fighters. We are definitely fighting fraud. We deal with fraud prevention. We were founded in 2017, and we are headquartered in Budapest in Hungary. But we have offices all around the world, in offices such as in cities, such as Austin, London, or Jakarta. And basically, what we deal with, as you know, in the previous past few years, online activity and social media has really boomed in the world. basically whoever is not present on the social media is actually suspicious to some extent. And as people leave traces after themselves online, this is actually the part what we are actually using, and what we are good at is identifying this type of traces after people. So what we actually have, just to define, we have an end-to-end fraud prevention platform that helps highlighting and filtering out fraudulent users based on their online digital footprints. And our main clients, as I mentioned, mainly are fintech companies, from online lending, payment gateways, or neobanks. We are working with such companies already as Revolut in Europe, Nubank in Latin America, or Carbon in Africa. But there is several verticals that we serve, including its possibility as well for the retail sector as well. So let me just share my screen, and then I can just demonstrate it, how actually our platform works. So hopefully you can see my screen now.
We do.
Can you?
Perfect.
You do, perfect. So what we are doing, first of all, we are receiving information from the side of the client. These are data points such as email, IP, or a phone number. These you can collect from your clients upon, let's say, registration. Now I'm just going to demonstrate it with my own email address. How it actually looks like, the data that we are able to enrich. We are enriching this data, and you're able to create rules based on that, which are triggering scores. And these scores are actually, when you're automatizing the whole process, these are going to specify and classify these registrations, for example, into approve, review, or decline type of actions. Everything works via API, as I mentioned. This is just for demonstration. So first of all, we have a score from 0 to 100. 0 means the lowest likeliness of, for example, an email being fraudulent. 100 is the contrary. As you can see, my email is not fraudulent, luckily. The most interesting part that I want to demonstrate for you here is, besides that we are showing some information about the email, the online profiles are the ones that are, the most interesting and valuable of the information what we are giving back. These are in real time done. We are connected. We are being connected with different social media platforms. You can see I have a Facebook account, a LinkedIn account, a Skype account, and some publicly available data about myself as well is listed here. You can, for example, see my title on LinkedIn, my name as well, my city, just like in Skype as well. Even my age is revealed here, Airbnb, for example, and you can see plenty of other social medias that I'm using with this email address. Now, the purpose of this one, or the logics behind it, is that it's 2022, majority of the people, as I mentioned, have some kind of online presence, and this is what we are feeding you back. And if there is anything, let's say, suspicious by somebody not present online, so for example, if I'm just writing a few numbers after my email address, what you're going to be able to see here is completely different than a valid email address. You can see already the score number has increased based on the rules that were set in this system, and they were triggered. The decision was triggered based on these. And no social media platforms were found either. By the way, these rules can be modified, so you can set up your own rules based on previous fraud patterns, for example, or if you're receiving customers from a specific geographical region which you find more suspicious, these can be added up to the score as well, and they can trigger action. By this, we are helping the automatization of many companies, so you don't have to manually check all the transactions or all the registrations, only the suspicious ones. And for you to understand actually these thresholds, what are triggering actions, here you're able to modify these as well. So specifically, you can see that from 0 to 10, it's an approved, 10 to 20, it's a review, and anything above 20 by default would be declined, but these can be modified by you as well. So there is plenty of other things I would be able to show you within the platform. However, in this 5-minute session, I was only able to get into the platform in such depth. I'm very happy to continue it, however, if there is an interest on anyone's behalf on your end. Thank you.
Again, it was super insightful, and it was really a pleasure that you did join the Micro Selection Day last year. So
We already have the first question. In regards to your speed, in which way are you faster than the latest technologies? So what gives you this advantage in the fraud prevention?
I think the biggest advantage what we have is we are completely modular. So it's not like that we are giving you a whole platform and this is how it is, go ahead and use it. But you can exactly select which type of API calls or which type of checks you would like to do. You can only do email checks, for example, if you would like to integrate our API for that, or you can only do the phone checks or the IP checks. It really depends on you. So we are able to fully customize this whole solution, including the rules as well. As I mentioned, this is all depending on you, what you would like to trigger as a suspicious action, for example.
Great modularity. And then the second question, what best practices are you translating out of the fintech industry into the brand and retail one? Maybe one or two you can share.
Yeah, so for example, onboarding can be an interesting one. I think in several fintech companies as well, upon onboarding, let's say, they tend to use biometric identification. And just as an example, if you consider this type of identifications, document identification or biometric identification, they tend to have a much higher price, for example. And also, many people tend to just leave the registration process. Meantime, here, for example, you can do a check in the background with your customers who don't have anything to be afraid of. They just pass through, and you might only want to check or have a look at the suspicious ones, and this way the onboarding friction can be decreased as well. So that's something that I would definitely mention for the retail part as well. If you have like an in-depth onboarding process, you can decrease it with us.
Sounds super interesting. Therefore, thank you very much for your time and have a great day ahead.
Thank you very much.
So the audience, you can now request the introduction to Ben to Seon via the poll, or as said, directly contact him via Hopin. Those were the pitches in the cybersecurity as well as embedded insurance section. Our next format is the second pilot showcase, together with Sabrina, who's manager, expert for innovation projects and culture at MediaMarktSaturn. The corporate partner is active on our platform since more than 4 years already. And Sabrina is a true expert in regards to sustainable last mile delivery. This topic was one of the big strategic goals last year. And we have identified for MediaMarktSaturn the most relevant players in the space. Out of them, we introduced them to the 4 leading companies. So Sabrina will showcase us the best practices as well as challenges on their way. With own emotion, they will continue to work. So we will have also Carsten, who's the head of product integrated logistics. And he will give us some further insights on what they are doing. Now let us dive into the results on how the leading consumer electronics retailer operates their last mile delivery in a way that helps our planet. So Sabrina, hi Carsten.
Hi.
Hi, good talking to you.
Great to have you.
Great. I will share my slides. 1 minute.
Sure.
So
we do see it now.
Great. Okay, then I will start.
Sabrina, sorry to
yes?
interrupt. Maybe switch the moderation modus because we can see your moderation screen currently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this should be fine.
Maybe I have the wrong screen. So
If you go to the second button below the first window, you can switch this modus, or just leave it like it is. That way would work also for us, Sabrina.
Okay, maybe one more try.
Otherwise, Okay, she's dialing in again. So maybe Carsten, if you want to, oh, there she is again.
There she is back. Okay.
Then ladies first, Sabrina, and now it should work out.
Okay, maybe it should now work. Hopefully.
Yay! Perfect.
Yay!
Thank you very
Okay, then
much.
I can start. Okay, great. So, since I want to tell you a lot in a short time, I have a few notes. So please don't huge, because it's a little bit more easier for me in English. I'm a project manager at MediaMarktSaturn Next, and the Next is an own company of MediaMarktSaturn. And our objective is to quickly understand new technologies and test of use cases and their respective relevance. And one of a pilot of us is bike delivery. And I will show you what we have done there so far. When you think of bike delivery, maybe this well-known man comes to your mind. Well, but we tested it a little bit more innovative. Namely, with beautiful e-cargo bikes and e-trailers. Above you can see two vehicles from our pilot partner Kipcar, and bottom left an e-trailer, one closed and one open from New Wheel, and besides is the e-cargo bike of OnoMotion. So, like you know, we set it up the pilot with 5 partners. 3 partners I named before, and in total we had 5 vehicles, 3 cargo bikes and 2 trailers, spread it to 4 stores, 1 in Berlin and 3 in Cologne. We tested 3 use cases. One is B2C e-cargo bike delivery, the second is B2B e-trailer delivery, and the third is B2C rent and trailer for our customers for free. What we tracked during the pilot. So we tracked, of course, how is the cooperation with the partners, how is the use of the vehicles, and what are the insights regarding hiring drivers. How does the processes in the stores work? And of course, how long we need from order to delivery, and what are the numbers of delivery and rentals. And at least, of course, how does the customer liked it? So what are insights regarding e-trailer rental? Unfortunately, we had 0 rentals. Why? So the store told me that potential customers, only 2, they were a bit fearful of using the e-trailer by their own. And the whole promotion and visibility of this trailer and the offer was not very good enough. The process of signing to rent the trailer and to introduce the customer to using it was done by our warehouse. And yeah, this is not the best way to catch the people. So what are the advice I can give you if you would like to test rent a trailer to customers? Get help by the e-trailer company because they love their product and they can they burn for the product and they can present it best. One other idea could be to do an e-trailer rental via app. So provide branded e-trailers in large cities, though the customer can rent it by an app, maybe like you know from the current e-scooter renting all over the world. What are learnings regarding e-trailer and e-cargo bike delivery? Here are the numbers. So we delivered within 30 minutes, which is really great from order to delivery. We had 50 or about 50 deliveries in total, and we got 30 very good customer feedbacks. The most delivered products were coffee machines, printers, sewing machines, TVs, and vacuum cleaners, so the bigger ones and heavy ones, of course. And we gained a lot of findings. What have we learned? So we didn't have regular drivers on site due to the pilot, and we had a huge problem to get them, to hire enough and good drivers, which means that the store staff was not able to promise customer a delivery in time. To get good and enough drivers is a huge issue in all branches. And so we decided very spontaneous to get help by OnoMotion and to get drivers directly from them. And this worked very well. If you do a pilot, you have to be quick and dirty sometimes. And so we was not able to deliver our online orders. In total, we had 2 less deliveries by just promoting the service to customers who are in the store. And due to the pandemic, the traffic in store decreased. So, and you must find, of course, a customer who bought a bigger and heavy product to use the service. In total, we tested the vehicles and they all worked very, very well. And all the partners were really ambitious and it was a good cooperation. The greatest findings are the amazing feedbacks of the customers and the delivery time of 30 minutes. And I think it's really outstanding to deliver in this short time. And this could be a huge potential for us. And of course, it's environmentally friendly. What is my recommendation? So get help for finding drivers through the EcoBike company itself or an external recruiter like Drivers Hero, for example. And for us, it's important to include our online shipments to the service and to source from the nearest store to gain more orders. And you will have more great advantages with that because you build up a better customer retention if they are always the same driver who delivers the customer, especially to our local customer around one store in this radius. And of course, this is a better way and a faster way too to deliver with e-operated vehicles. And we all should change these things for our beautiful bird. Yes, that's all from my side. If you would like to reach me out for more information, just write me. There's my mail right back in the corner. And now Carsten will tell you more about OnoMotion itself.
All right, yeah, thanks, Sabrina, and thanks for sharing the insights. I think we achieved a lot already together. Yes, so I would love to talk about all the history of OnoMotion and where we're coming from, but time is pretty limited. So in the past, what was one of the biggest disruptions in logistics was the implementation of standardized sea freight containers. And we at OnoMotion want to take this a step further and bring this to today's logistics. And we are working on the containerization of the last mile and integrating this approach into a vertical integrated technology ecosystem where we want to assist our clients fully vertical throughout the operation process. Like Sabrina mentioned, we are supporting here also with drivers and not only presenting the bike and giving the bike. And then here you have it as a customer. Now we support there on the whole process level. And there's also like our approach is really, really good quality delivering here, that the customer experience is pretty nice and not like the current customer experience, sometimes just dropping a package. Now we really, really want to get in touch with the customer and provide there the best experience possible. Yeah, and here on the picture is like a small outline how we want to approach this. Right now we're starting from the last mile, and then we extend this to the middle and first mile in the future, really getting vertically integrated also on these levels. Yeah, next slide, please, Sabrina. Thank you so much. What we are working on and what you will get as a customer is really a mobile availability of our logistics platform. So super easy to get. We have low barriers to entry. It's really, we are doing all the jobs for you, and you're deciding to partner us, and we try to optimize all the logistic processes behind this, integrating it also into your checkout, that customers can, for example, decide already for like this fast same-day experience with an ecologic-friendly delivery solution. So we also support on this, and we really want to drive a green way of transporting items in the cities and make our cities more beautiful and less stressful for drivers and customers and all people living there. Yeah. And next slide really just what we try to achieve, also what we see as our USP and differentiation in the market. Most of the times what clients will get, also what Sabrina sometimes mentioned, is you either get the vehicle or you get the service. And what we at OnOmotion Integrated Logistics want to do is leverage all the experience that we gained already in building the Ono, so our cargo bike and the container, and leverage this now with our logistics as a service product to really get the best of both worlds together and provide the best experience to our clients and optimize their logistics. Yes. Here, a brief overview. So who are we partnering with? Swabi is our battery partner for the vehicles, so it's easy to share and charge with green energy inside the cities that the bikes use. Upcore for our city logistics hub. And already we could gain a lot of customers and also reach or leaving the pilot phase with them and doing some very, very successful pilots like with MediaMarktSaturn Group now. So we gained a lot of experience, not only in retail, but also in the cab market and B2C or B2B2C deliveries. Yeah, so we really try to spread our customer groups in order to gain a lot of experience right from the beginning. That's also why we have a close connection during the pilot phases to gain as much experience as possible together with our clients and really build our product based on the customer feedback, meaning the customer, our B2B customer, as well as the receiving part of the logistics chain to have the best experience possible for everyone. Yes, thank you very much. And if you want to get in touch with us, that's me. That's my email address. Glad talking to you in more time and really in more details what we are planning to do and strive for as OnOmotion.
Thank you so much, Carsten and Sabrina. I actually made it back to the stage for the last part of this event. And before we go into the Q&A, huge shout out to Dara and Johannes for an amazing moderation. And of course, also to you, Carsten and Sabrina, for this great presentation and teamwork. I think it's a very, very nice case where we combine retail, supply chain, and sustainability, and also our topic of customer centricity. So thank you for sharing that and all the insights. And we're excited to see how you continue the story. And maybe to start with some questions from the audience. In your opinion, how do you think we can strengthen the customer awareness and on the influence with the last mile delivery without feeling kind of moralizing the customer? So how can you in a soft way basically educate your customer and make him more conscious of the impacts of the last mile?
This is a good question because we just promoted the service, which is environmentally friendly to the customer, and some of them are really exciting to use it, and they say, of course, they would get with an environmental friendly delivery, but in my opinion, if you just do it, maybe the customer hasn't to know that the delivery will come by an economic friendly vehicle. They'll just do it and promote it that you do it. Yeah, it's difficult to get, because I think every human at the moment would be more eco-friendly, but we are all stuck in we would like to have deliveries in a very short time, and we want to track it, and this is all possible. And maybe you don't have to promote it in that way. I think it will become normal in the future. So just do it, because you have more advantages that it's only environmental friendly. You save costs, you are faster, and disadvantages will come to the customer in an easy way as well if you do it. No, was that clear?
Yeah, that's true. No, and I can totally agree. I mean, I think there's kind of a lot of other advantages just in the sustainability aspect. But I feel the more our cities get crowded with, delivery vans, for instance, the more customers will also have the urge. So I think that it's great that you as MediaMarktSaturn are, one of the first movers in the space, and that you put an emphasis on this, and hopefully more and more retailers will follow. And I don't know, Carsten, if you have any additional thoughts, how you maybe promote this to potential customers.
Yeah, so what I agree with Sabrina, like you moralizing the customer, telling like, okay, if you're not choosing an e-cargo pedelec to transport your goods, you're like a bad person. I think that's the wrong way to go. I kind of agree with Sabrina that having a last mile delivery option that is ecological friendly is the best add-on or benefit we can bring. But the last mile is requiring this change. Like, as you mentioned, cities are changing rapidly. Also how people behave, how also online and offline shopping experience kind of merge more and more together. I think having then the customer experience, okay, and now it's not the event that takes 40 minutes for one stop to get items delivered to me. It's now like 8 to 13 minutes maybe in the city. And it's even ecologically friendly. I think that's the whole package is the experience that you need to sell, and not like, here you have a poster and we are ecologically friendly and maybe you need to pay a premium. Then it's, I think, not like the right way to go. It's the package that is really the experience and how we want to change the whole last mile experience. That's the way to go, I guess.
No, I fully agree. And I think this also kind of took away, I think, our wrapping up question a bit for the event, how you would imagine the future of the last mile and what elements you see. I think a lot has been covered, but maybe each of us, each of you has a final kind of sentence for the audience to take away today.
Maybe I can start. So the question was, can you repeat the question?
Yes, so your final takeaway of the talk today and what you would like to tell the audience.
Okay.
For their maybe future behavior and a wrap
yeah,
up.
got it. Okay. So if you're a retailer and you have stores in bigger cities, it's really a huge problem to get a park space to deliver this in a huge city with much traffic. So you are really faster to use an e-cargo bike. And yeah, you're faster, you're saving costs, you save the earth. So you have just advantages to do it. So I don't see any disadvantages to not deliver eco-friendly in bigger cities. And regarding rental and e-trailer, so the most people or younger people are not having our own car. And if you have to get one product or shopping from to home, then it's a really huge problem for them. So if they can use just an e-trailer, for example, in bigger cities, that would help them. And of course, it's then also eco-friendly because they don't have to use by sharing cars or rent a car. They can use it by their bike. And I think this is the future, and especially in bigger cities.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, maybe to wrap it up, I think the key takeaway is really just get started, try doing it. You have an excellent partner here with Onomotion, and I'm sure Sabrina would also love to share some more insights afterwards. And thank you both for being here, sharing this pilot case and your insights with the audience.
Thank you for having us.
And now we're actually coming to one of my favorite parts of the event, our award ceremonies. You might already see that I have 2 awards standing here, our People's Choice Award and our Corporate Innovation Award. And I would like to get everyone active now again. Vote for your favorite startup of the day. Here's again an overview of the companies you've seen: Userlane, Datazeit, Writesonic, Simplesurance, Digital Shadows, and Seon. You already know the deal, how to use the polls, but for anyone joining last minute, you can go to the right side, click on polls, and now vote for your favorite startup. And we will have around 2 to 3 minutes for this voting process. So please go ahead now and give the recognition to your favorite pitch. While we wait for your vote now, I would also like to hand out our Corporate Innovation Award. This is an award we give out every summit for the partner that over the last 6 months has been the most interactive, has run a lot of pilots, and really helped our platform to progress. And I'm very happy to announce today that this Summit's Innovation Award will go to our long-lasting partner, the SCHWARZ Group. They've not only had the rollout with Cognigy, which many of you could observe here today, but also added multiple industries to our partnership So started working with even more people in their team, had multiple pilots, interacted in a lot of our global events, and were a truly amazing partner. And we cannot wait for everything that 2022 has in store. Congratulations, we will ship this award to you. And thank you so much for being part of the platform, trusting in us. And it's really, really exciting to work with you. Now I'm looking into my voting committee to see if we already have a result. And yes, we do. So our People's Choice Award. So now imagine a dramatic music playing. I don't think we have the sound effect. This summit will go to Userlane. Woo! Congratulations for this amazing achievement. We're really, really happy to have you as a part of our platform. And it's exciting that you're also one of our local Munich startups, interacted with a lot of our partners. And this is really a great achievement. We're very happy to support you in further engagements with our partners. And thank you for being here today. Thanks to everyone for voting. This is a true honor for the Userlane team behind Hartmut. Thank you so much. And now, before we wrap it up, I actually also want to head over to Olivia again to see her final scribbling. A lot of you might have been following it in the break, and her results are always breathtaking. So Olivia, why don't you share your screen again? Ooh, wow, it looks amazing. And I love the color design this time, really, really nice. And we can see all of the different elements here today of our summit, which she put in a kind of visual form. And to anyone who's visiting Munich, we would at this stage also like to invite you to our office here, where we have all of our scribblings from the last summits in a really big picture, and I'm happy to guide you through all the highlights. And with this, also thanks again to our speakers, to our startups today, for bringing these valued insights, for everyone participating in the breakout rooms, in the polls, and to all of you for being here. And this will, of course, be posted on social so you can have a deeper look. Finally, thank you again, Olivia, also for your time. This event wouldn't be complete without our amazing team on the ground. I want to thank Daria, Johannes, and Gada for making this possible, and our entire Plug and Play Munich team. We're really grateful to have such an amazing ecosystem of change makers. And see you again for the next event. And now feel free to head over to networking to have some one-on-one conversations. See you soon, and thank you for joining in.